So, hello there, and welcome back to another Night at the Movies video. I'm, of course, Spike Knight, and in these videos, I love talking about things, movies and TV, and whatever I want, whenever I want. And in today's video, it is the first of my Christmas film reviews for 2025, as I'm reviewing this new Christmas movie, which I think is only streaming on Prime Video right now, which is Oh What Fun. So, let's get into it, shall we? Oh What Fun, as I just said, is this new Christmas movie that is streaming on Prime Video. And this film has a stacked cast. You have the likes of Michelle Pfeiffer in there, which many people might know as Catwoman from Batman Returns, which is another Christmas movie. She was also in Scarface. She has been in so much, so much that I'm just not going to mention. But she's a huge actor, and you have her leading the cast. Alongside her, you have Felicity Jones, which many people might know from the likes of Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, which she was the lead. She was also one of the main stars of The Theory of Everything, alongside Eddie Redmayne. This film also stars Chloe Grace Moretz, who was great in Kick-Ass, and to be honest, I don't think has been great in a film since then. Then you also have Dennis Leary in this film. You also have Jason Schwartzman, who has been in loads of Wes Anderson movies. Dominic Sessa, who was great in the fantastic Christmas movie, The Holdovers, which came out a couple of years ago now. If you have not seen The Holdovers, check it out this Christmas. It is a brilliant film. So yes, he's in the film, Dominic Sessa, who is he's one of the main characters in The Holdovers. He plays one of the main characters in The Holdovers. He is in this film, and so is Eva Longoria, in a role that I'm not sure was really needed. But anyway, I'll go on to that a bit later on in this review. And this film, Oh What Fun, is directed by Michael Showalter, apologies for mispronouncing his name there, who has previously directed the likes of The Big Sick, which is a great film if you have not seen that, a really, really good movie, and The Eyes of Tammy Faye, which got a lot of criticism, but, it won Jessica Chastain her Oscar, that film, and I actually quite liked it. I'll be honest, I thought it was actually quite a good movie. But anyway, Michael Showalter directed some good stuff in the past, is the point I am making. And I'll be honest, I wasn't particularly interested in watching this film, but yesterday I wasn't feeling too well. I mean, I'm still not feeling on top form today, but I never really am, so there you go. But yesterday I wasn't really feeling too well, and I just felt like I wanted to sit down for a good couple of hours and have a rest and stick on a movie. Then I saw that this film was streaming on Prime Video. I actually thought it came out today. I'm recording this on Friday, the 5th of December. I thought this film came out today on Prime Video, but actually came out on the 4th of December, which is when I first watched it. Anyway, not that that really matters, but I sat down to watch something on TV and went up to Prime Video thinking, okay, there could be something on here that's worth watching. And I thought, you know what? I haven't done a Christmas review yet on this channel. I realised that for the first time yesterday. Usually I'm doing Christmas reviews from the start of December, but we are now 5 days into December on the day I'm recording this review, the 5th of December, as I've already said. And I haven't done a Christmas film review. So I saw this film was streaming on Prime Video and I thought, okay, let's give it a shot. I saw the trailer for it, I want to say, a couple of weeks ago now, and I thought the trailer looked okay. It looked like it could be a fun Christmas movie, and I thought, you know what, yeah, I'm hoping to have a good time with this film and feel some of that festive cheer, you know what I mean? And the Google plot synopsis of the film goes as follows. Claire, played by Michelle Pfeiffer in this film, she won an Oscar, Michelle Pfeiffer. I'm pretty sure she has, by the way. So there you have, Michelle Pfeiffer, who is an Oscar caliber actor, let's say, because I don't actually know if she's won an Oscar. But anyway, you have Michelle Pfeiffer in this film, and she plays this character called Claire, and she plans a special Christmas. However, she is forgotten by her family. When they finally realise that she is missing, their holiday is at risk until she returns to give them the celebration they deserve. And that's pretty much all I need to know about this film before seeing it. And honestly, I thought this film was absolutely terrible. It is a turkey, pun intended. It is just rubbish. It's one of those Christmas movies, right, which is trying to do so much but failing to do so at the same time. It's trying to be this Christmas film about a dysfunctional family that's trying to come together at Christmas and trying to the festive cheer, you know, but failing miserably. And it's trying to be this family Christmas movie at the same time, but none of the family dynamic feels believable. I didn't believe that any of these people were actually in a family together, you know what I mean? And on top of all that, the film goes in a direction which you don't expect, and not in a good way at all. I'm not going to give away what happens in case people want to watch this film, and you know, I don't want to give away spoilers in case you do end up enjoying it. But yeah, the film takes a direction which I thought was, well, quite simply ridiculous. Now, the film has good intentions. Essentially, it tells you, the film quite literally tells you via narration from Michelle Pfeiffer at the start of the film, that this film is going to be about the mother of a family, the woman at Christmas, going mad and rejecting Christmas. Because you usually get all these Christmas movies like, say, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, or Scrooged, or, you know, most Christmas Carol stories like Muppets Christmas Carol, or what's the big one, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, where it's the male character rejecting Christmas, the male character getting mad at Christmas and wants to take everyone's Christmas away, but then realising by the end of the film that actually they want to be with the people close to them at Christmas. They want to be with their family. Usually films that follow that narrative, like It's a Wonderful Life as well, which is one of like the all-time great movies, not just all-time great Christmas movies, it probably is the greatest Christmas movie, but it's also one of the all-time great movies, period. That's what those sort of films are all about. They're about the male getting mad at Christmas, rejecting their family, rejecting the ones that are close to them, and then going on their own personal journey throughout the film, and then realising by the end of the movie that the people close to them, that their family matter the most. You know what I mean? Usually those films are centered around a male character, and this film, Oh What Fun, quite literally tells you at the start of the movie that actually we're going to tell it from the perspective of the female character. And I thought, okay, that's an interesting idea that hasn't really been done before. I'm on board with that. And you know, the film has good intentions. For the first 15 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this. I'm not going to say it's great, but I'm enjoying it. I like what its setup is, and I think that there is stuff to like it. I smiled a couple of moments. I chuckled to myself. I'll give the film that. I chuckled to myself in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the film. But after the 15-minute mark, and that's saying something, because I'm not even sure if we got to the 15-minute mark when I'd given up on this film, but after the 15-minute mark, I was like, no, this is not any good. What are we doing here? Like, that's what I felt like when I was watching the film after the 15-minute mark. I was like, what are we trying to do here? What's the story we're trying to tell? Are we trying to tell the story of the mother of a family, the woman in the family, rejecting Christmas and rejecting her family at Christmas? Are we trying to tell that story? Or are we trying to tell all these other stories? Because it's like 10 storylines going on with the film, because there's quite a few characters in this movie, like you get with any family Christmas movie. There's quite a few characters in this film, and I was sat there going, okay, what story are we trying to tell? Are we trying to tell the story of Felicity Jones' character, who is the eldest daughter, who wants to spend the next Christmas away from her family? Are we trying to tell the story of Chloe Grace Moretz's character, who is constantly dumping her girlfriends? We're trying to tell the story of Jason Schwartzman's character who's trying to fit in with the family. Are we trying to tell the story of Dominic Sezer's character who can't, maintain a good relationship and is a dropout and nobody really has any faith in him? What story are we telling you? Or are we telling Michelle Pfeiffer's story, which is what the film really should be doing? It feels unfocused to start off with, and I've already mentioned it, but I'm going to mention it again. You just don't believe in the family dynamic, and that's such a big thing with this film. You've got to believe in the family dynamic in order for the film to work. If you don't believe in the family dynamic, which you don't in this film, then everything just kind of feels hollow. I mean, it doesn't kind of feel hollow. It does feel hollow. The film doesn't really have a heart. Again, it's got good intentions, and the film's trying to have a heart. It's trying to make you feel stuff, I mean, sometimes in a manipulative way, particularly towards the end of the movie, but it's trying to do all that. It's trying to be this great family Christmas movie. However, you just don't believe in the family dynamic. It feels like all the actors in this film have literally only met for the first time when they were shooting this film. I don't believe that any of these characters know each other, let alone be a family. I don't believe in any of it. And again, you're meant to believe they're this close-knit family who all have their own special relationships. You know what I mean? Like you have in any family, but you just don't get that from this film. And again, it only feels like the actors met for the first time on the first day of production of this film. It feels like they went, oh, Michelle Pfeiffer signed up to this movie, let's sign up for it as well, because we get to work with Michelle Pfeiffer. But it doesn't really feel like there's any rehearsals with the cast of the film, and it doesn't feel like there's any chemistry reads, because there's no chemistry between any of these actors. Even Michelle Pfeiffer and Dennis O'Leary, who've meant to be married for something like 40 years in this film, did not believe in their romance whatsoever. And, you know, Felicity Jones, Chloe Grace Moretz, and Dominic Cesar, they were meant to be siblings in the film, did not believe in that either. And because you don't believe in the family dynamic, what you actually get is a lot of the performances in the film, not all the performances, but a lot of the performances in the film are surprisingly bad. Felicity Jones, who is a great actor, a really great actor, she's not good in this film. I mean, I'm surprised by it. I'm not only surprised, I'm shocked she's not good in this film, because again, she's a great actor. You know, and Chloe Grace Moretz I found annoying, but then, to be honest, I don't think I really liked her in anything since the first Kick-Ass. I didn't even really like her in Kick-Ass 2, which, you know, says something. But yeah, she's annoying in this film, and Jason Schwartzman, who I have loved in so many movies like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, or the Wes Anderson films he's in, particularly Rushmore. I mean, in Rushmore, he plays an annoying character, but he's still enjoyable to watch. Yet in this film, he's meant to be playing this lovable character that people just don't get along with, you know? Who's trying to fit into this family that we follow in the film. But I found him annoying every time he came on screen. And there's other performances in the film which I just didn't really understand what they were doing. Like, it felt like most of the actors in this film were told to do different performances. It felt like they were all in different movies. That's what it felt like. Particularly Eva Longoria, who shows up, and it did kind of feel like she said to the filmmakers, make me look as glamorous as possible, you know, because I'm Eva Longoria. And, you know, she's a glamorous-looking woman, but I didn't understand the point of her, and I don't know what she's going for with her performance in the film, really. And there's two performances in the film which I didn't mind. Michelle Pfeiffer's good, but that's because she's Michelle Pfeiffer. You know, you could give her the phone book to read and she'll probably make it interesting. But she was good in the film. I didn't mind her. She actually made the film watchable, in my opinion. And I also didn't mind Dominic Cesar. Now, again, I don't really know what Dominic Cesar's performance is doing in this film. It feels completely different than everyone else's performance in the movie. But he's okay to watch, and I like Dominic Cesar. I even liked him in Now You See Me, Now You Don't, which I watched a couple of weeks ago, which wasn't a particularly good movie, but he was actually one of the more redeeming features about that film, and he's one of the redeeming features about this one as well. I hope the next one he's in is just a good movie, because I want to see him in something good again. He's so good in The Holdovers, and he's enjoyable to watch in this film, but the film's so poor that, you know, his performance doesn't really do much to save it, you know what I mean? And keeping on the topic with the fact that the film is just, I mean, it's not a fact, is it? It's all subjective, but you know what I'm saying. Continuing on with me saying that the film is poor. The musical score is over the top in a way that is annoying. You know, you often get over the top musical scores to over the top Christmas movies, and it can be good. The score to Home Alone is over the top, in my opinion, but it works because it's Home Alone. You know, John Williams, I think, perfectly captured. I mean, I'm a big John Williams fan. Side note here, I wasn't planning to say this, but apparently I am the #1 global listener on Spotify, John Williams. I listen to him. I'm in the top 0.001% of John Williams listeners on Spotify, which is kind of incredible, and I just found that out when Spotify Wrapped came out a couple of days ago. So there you go. Anyway, with John Williams' score for the first Home Alone, you know, it's over the top, but it works for that film. Same with the second Home Alone. Even with something like what's another good example? The score to How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which isn't a great film, but a good film in my opinion. It's an enjoyable movie. The score to that works because the film is over the top, so the score goes along with it. But the problem with this movie, the film isn't that over the top. You can tell it's trying to be. There's one sequence in the film, and this isn't really going into spoilers, but there's one sequence in the movie where Michelle Pfeiffer steals something, and it's meant to be this really hilarious and, you know, enjoyable sequence that's over the top, but it wasn't over the top. It just came across as annoying, and the musical score is trying to be over the top at the same time, but again, it just makes that whole sequence come across as badly done. Yeah, the film just isn't as over the top as it clearly wants to be, as it clearly thinks it is. And the musical score really, you know, shows you that it's trying to be over the top. It tells you that it's trying to be over the top, but it's failing miserably. Plus, this is one of those Christmas movies which clearly wasn't shot at Christmas. There's a couple of exterior scenes, you know, scenes shot out in the open, where they shot it either in the spring or the summer, and it just makes the film feel less Christmassy, you know. There are scenes in the film where there is fake CGI snow used, which always bugs me with a Christmas movie. Like, why couldn't you find somewhere to shoot where it was snowing? I know that might be a bit more difficult nowadays than it was, like, say, 10 years ago, but still, stop using fake CGI snow. Get a snow machine, for God's sakes. Modern Family didn't want one of their episodes, and I don't think Modern Family had a huge budget, so, you know, get a snow machine and stop using fake CGI snow. It's really not that difficult, but yet they're using fake CGI snow throughout this film, and that doesn't sound like a big thing. It doesn't really, but when all these problems are starting to come at you throughout the film, it all builds. You know, even just the smallest problems start to stick out at you when the film's not working. And the film's not working because the narrative is, I've already used this word, but I'm going to use it again, ridiculous. It starts off and you're like, okay, I like where this is going. But then there's this whole thing, and again, I'm not going into spoilers in case people want to watch this film over the weekend, but there's this whole thing with this talk show hosted by Eva Longoria, and I'm going, what? And how that comes into the narrative, it's like, really? Did we need to do that? Couldn't Michelle Pfeiffer's character just realise she loves Christmas without connecting her storyline to that TV show? Why did we have to do all that? What was the point of the whole TV show thing? Because it didn't really change anything anyway. They could have taken the film in a whole different direction, which I actually think would have been better if you didn't have all the TV show stuff, and if Michelle Pfeiffer's character came to her own realisation when she's alone at Christmas that she wants to spend Christmas with her family, that she misses her family, then I think it would have made a lot of difference. But instead, you get this over-the-top, but not in a well-done way, TV show thing with Eva Longoria, where I'm going, what are we doing here? Really? Okay, this is becoming a thing now, and you're watching it, and you're going, what is this film? And that's the thing that I kept thinking throughout this movie. What is this film? What is it trying to accomplish? Again, it's got good intentions, and it's got a good setup, but the execution is so bad that by the time you get to the end of the film, you're going, I forgot what that film was trying to be about. I forgot what it was trying to do. Like, it took me till a couple of hours after I watched the film, and I was writing my notes, because yes, I do plan these videos to a certain point, but it took me to, like, you know, a couple of hours. It took me until a couple of hours after I saw this film to realise that, oh yeah, the film started off literally telling you what it's going to be about, with good intentions, and then it just kind of forgot those intentions and turned into a different movie. And I mean, I don't really know what this film was. It gets really smushed. It gets really mushy and smoky as well towards the end, to the point that it's so cringy that you want to bawl your eyes out. I mean, don't get me wrong. Christmas movies are cheesy and cringy almost all the time. It's kind of in the DNA of a Christmas movie, sure. But there's a line that you don't want a Christmas movie to cross with cringe, and I think this movie crossed that line and then some. I mean, the last half an hour includes characters crying, confessing to one another, and going, Why are we getting so emotional about these things? What? The film's trying to make you feel things towards the end, but instead it just comes across as emotionally manipulative. And sure, every single film ever made is emotionally manipulative. I can't pronounce the word manipulative. Every single film ever made, is emotionally manipulative. It's trying to make you feel things, but I hate when films are overly emotionally manipulative. You know what I mean? And this film is overly emotionally manipulative, and then it has an ending where you're going, okay, that is just, sure, why not? The film's got so ridiculous up to that point. Why isn't the ending ridiculous as well? And then you get to the end and you're like, what? What was that film? Was that meant to be a comedy? Because it didn't make me laugh once. Was that meant to be enjoyable? Because it wasn't really. And was that meant to have this? Was it meant to make me feel Christmassy? And you know what? It didn't. I mean, I'm feeling Christmassy right now because I've started to do Christmas things, Christmas traditions in my house and elsewhere. But this film didn't make me feel Christmassy, And that's his biggest crime. When a film doesn't make you feel Christmassy, then it does annoy me. As you can probably tell in this video today, it's not the worst Christmas movie I've seen. I mean, far from it, really. It has its moments. I chuckled a couple of times. I'll give the film that. And there were a couple of moments where I thought, okay, that's not a bad idea. But again, the execution is so bad that it doesn't really matter in the long run. So yeah, it's not the worst Christmas movie I've ever seen, but with this director attached, who's a good director. It's the same guy who did The Big Sick and The Eyes of Tammy Faye and other critically acclaimed films that I haven't seen, but he's a good director. With him attached and with this cast attached, you'd think that this film would be so much better than it ends up being, but it just ends up being less than the sum of its parts, which is a big shame, because it had the opportunity to be really good. The ideas are there, the cast is there, the director's there, but when it all comes together, again, it's just less than the sum of its parts, and it ends up becoming this ridiculous, over the top, but not really over the top Christmas movie that feels like it's trying too hard, and that rubs you up the wrong way more than it works for you. You just don't believe in the family, and at the end of the day, that's the thing you really need to. That's the thing which you needed to make this film work. You needed to believe in the family, because you don't believe in the family, you don't believe in anything going on, and the film also doesn't make you feel Christmassy. Because you don't believe in the family dynamic, and so the message of the film doesn't come across as well as it could have done. Yeah, this film is awful, and I hoped for more. And so, all in all, I'm going to say that, oh, what fun. I'm going to say that it's a 2.5 out of 10. I'm giving it that rating because, there were two good performances. Two enjoyable performances in the film, in my opinion. Although, does Michelle Pfeiffer really have the accent? I'm not sure she does. So I'm not really sure why they gave Michelle Pfeiffer an accent in this film. She didn't need one. But again, she's good in the film. She's watchable. She makes the film watchable. And I like Dominic says, and again, the film has good intentions. There were a couple of moments which made me chuckle, and I'll give the film that. But it's meant to be a comedy. I mean, that's what it says on Google. The film is meant to be a comedy. It did not make me laugh once. So there you go. When a comedy it made me chuckle, but it didn't make me laugh out loud. And comedies have got to make me laugh out loud, in order for them to be a properly good comedy. And this is just not one of them. And it's not a Christmas film that made me feel Christmassy. And it's a family Christmas film without a good family dynamic, without a believable family dynamic. And it's got some surprisingly bad performances from really good actors for the most part. I'm not a big fan of Chloe Grace Moretz, but Felicity Jones and Jason Schwartzman are good actors, and yet I didn't really like them in this film. And it's got an over-the-top musical score, which makes you go, what was the composer thinking of when it came to this movie? I mean, I don't even know who composed this film, but it's also got some surprisingly rushed direction in there from a director who is usually quite good at making movies. At least if you look at his past filmography. And it's just got so many parts to it where you're going, what? Why? Like, Eva Longoria, again, why the hell is she in this film? I just don't really get it. And the film goes in a direction with its narrative that is that you're just going, why? Why are we doing this? What's the purpose of this? And the answer is, well, why not, eh? You know, why the hell not? This is a terrible Christmas movie, but hey, what do you expect? With every Christmas comes terrible Christmas films, and this is a new one to put in that list. Still, I've seen worse Christmas movies, so there you go. It's not one of the worst Christmas movies I've seen, but the thing is, this is a Christmas streaming movie, which pretty much tells you everything you need to know about it. It's a Christmas movie on streaming, and it'll probably be forgotten about in a week's time. And so, all in all, as I've already said, and as I'm going to say once more in this review today, Oh What Fun is a 2.5 out of 10 from me. Anyway guys, that's it for today's video. If you have seen Oh What Fun, please let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for watching or listening to this video. And if you haven't yet, please click down below and like and subscribe on this video if you enjoyed the video, of course. And look forward to many more videos coming very, very soon on this channel. As I've already said, thank you so much for watching or listening to this video, and I will see you guys again soon, but bye for now. Bye!